Hey there, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is how to make Pop-Tarts that look like a TARDIS, or Pop-Tartises, if you will. Anyway, let's get started. First, place the flour in a large bowl and then add the chilled butter and shortening. I use salted butter because that's all I had, but if you have regular unsalted butter, then just add a pinch of salt. And then use a pastry cutter to cut up the mixture until it resembles coarse crumbs, and if there's little bits of butter, that's okay. And then you want to measure out half a cup of water and then add some ice to that. And then allow the ice to melt, and then with that really cold water measure out half a cup, because it will be more obviously because the ice is melted. And then add that about a tablespoon at a time and mix after each addition, and just fold it together until it forms a nice dough. And just one thing, the Pop-Tart recipe for the pastry that I'm using isn't mine because we don't really have them in Australia, and I've only tried them once or twice in America, so I wasn't really sure how to start on that. So that is from Sally's Baking Addiction, and I'll show you how I did it, but I'll leave a link for the quantities in the description box, so click on that to find out how much of each ingredient to use. If there's a little water left at the end, that's fine, don't add more than you need. And then half the dough and flatten into 2 discs, and then place in the fridge for a few hours, or if you're in a hurry, then you can just put it in the freezer for about half an hour. And while the dough is chilling, it's time to make the filling. And this is super easy. All you need to do is take some blueberry jam and put it in a microwave container and heat it for about 20 seconds just until it goes a bit more runny. And this is optional, but I strained mine through a sieve to get rid of any lumps, so it was just like nice and smooth. And then this is the fun part of adding the glitter. And I had 4 types of glitter. I had blue and green regular glitter, and then some holographic silver and black glitter, which is so cool. If you can get that, get it. It just looks 10 times better. I talk about it a lot in my videos. If you're subscribed, you probably know that. I love it. And just add a little pinch of each, or whatever glitters you can get your hands on, and just add it. You could also use luster dust as well, and just keep adding it until it's shiny enough for you, really, however much you want to add. And then set that aside while you roll out your dough. And it might be a little bit hard, so just let it thaw out of the fridge or freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes just so it's not as difficult to roll. And then roll it to about 1/2 centimeter thickness, and then cut out the Pop-Tart shapes. And to make sure I got the same size every time, I just cut out the size that I wanted on the back of a spare piece of card. I actually used one from a block of chocolate, and I made mine 12 centimeters by 8 centimeters, and if you want you can make it a bit smaller or a bit bigger, it's up to you, but this made 8 Pop-Tarts. Then place half of your rectangles down on a cutting board, and I didn't do this, but make sure you put grease paper underneath, and you'll see why this is important later, because I definitely should have done that. And then add about a tablespoon of your glittery jam to the middle, and make sure there's like about 1.5 centimeters around the edges spare so that it doesn't, leak out. And then, as you can see, I ended up adding a bit more glitter just because I'm super extra and I wanted it to be really sparkly, but that's up to you. And then just repeat this for all of them, and then add the lids. But before you do that, make an egg wash by whisking together 1 egg and 2 tablespoons of milk, and then brush that on the edges where there's no jam. And then just get a fork and press the sides down and make sure they're secure so no jam can get out. And then poke a couple of holes in the top with a toothpick. And once the lids are on, just brush the whole thing at the top with the egg wash and put it in the fridge or freezer to chill until they're cold and hardened. And then while they're chilling, preheat the oven to 180 Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. And then once they're firm and cold, take them out the fridge, and you want to bake them for about 25 to 30 minutes. So I just made a standard glaze to decorate mine, and to do this, sift 1 cup of icing sugar into a bowl and then add 2 tablespoons of milk and 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. And just mix this together until everything's nice and smooth. And if you need to, add just a little bit more milk or a little bit more icing sugar to make it a bit more runny or a bit thicker. And then add blue food dye until the glaze is sort of that TARDIS-y blue colour. And to make the decorations, all you need is blue and white fondant, though if you don't have that, you can just make some more glaze or use melted chocolate or just whatever you can substitute with. First, roll out the white fondant and cut out small rectangles. And you need 24 small white rectangles. This is if you have 8 Pop-Tarts like I did, and you'll need 24, and then take 8 of those that are left plain and just set them aside, they're all good. And then take the other 16 and paint lines on them with blue dye. And paint 2 lines going down vertically and 1 going horizontally. And the rectangle should be roughly 2 centimeters by about 1.5 centimeters. And then roll out the blue food dye and cut out 8 strips that are roughly 1 centimeter by 5 centimeters, and then paint on the words police box with black food dye. I left out the small writing in the middle that says public coal because it's really small, and as you can probably see, I'm not really good at painting small details, so I just left that off, but you can add it if you want. And once that's done, you should have 16 window panels, 8 plain white squares, and 8 police boxes. And then just spoon your glaze on and spread it out with a knife. And then just place on the decorations as I'm doing, just to look like the police box. And if your glaze is hardened just a little bit, then brush some water on the back of the fondant just to make it stick. And that's pretty much it, just dig in. And so this is what it looks like cut in half, and as you can see, the glitter did dull just slightly with baking, but it still looks really awesome, and the camera doesn't really pick up the holographicness as much, but you can definitely still see the glitter. Either way, even with just minimal glitter, or even if you don't have glitter and you don't put any in the middle, it's still a TARDIS Pop-Tart, and how cool is that? Like, this is probably one of my favorite things I've done. Like, it just looks so cool, and it tastes really good too. If you know someone that likes Doctor Who and you make this for them, I'm sure they will be very, very happy with it. Thank you for watching. That's the end of the video. That is the final product again. But thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe. I have a whole like pop culture sci-fi playlist. Check those playlists out. I'll put them in the description, and if you're not subscribed, please do, because I would really like that if that's okay. Anyway, see you next time. Heads up, next video is going to be a Harry Potter one.